这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
A single hat rose into the sky, and everyone knew they had just seen something that would be talked about for years. The day was not special at first. The field was rough, the grass uneven, and the air carried the smell of earth and sweat. People gathered close because there were no seats, only space and patience. This was England in the early 19th century, a time when games were not escapes from life but mirrors of it. You stood for hours, you waited, and you hoped that something worth remembering would happen. Cricket was a game of control. It asked for calm more than speed, for focus more than power. A bowler stood alone with the ball, facing a batsman who trusted his hands and his eyes. Every throw carried risk. Miss once, and the crowd sighed. Miss twice, and they turned away to talk. But hit the target, clean and sharp, and you earned their full attention. That afternoon, the bowler did something rare. He struck once, and heads lifted. He struck again, and voices softened. When he struck a third time, without a pause, without a mistake, the field changed. Silence fell first, heavy and full. Then it broke into noise, not planned, not polite, but real. People laughed, shouted, and grabbed each other's arms. They knew this was not normal play. This was a streak. There was no rule for moments like this. No sign on the field told people what to do when skill crossed into magic. So they did what felt human. Someone took off a hat. It was not fine or new. It had been worn under sun and rain. That hat moved from hand to hand. Coins dropped in. A few small notes followed. One man placed a button, another a ring he said he would replace later. It was not about value. It was about marking time. The bowler watched, unsure where to look. Praise in those days was quiet. Pride stayed inside. But when the hat was given to him, heavy with small gifts, he understood. This was the crowd saying, "We saw you do something hard, and we were here for it." 3 wins in a row, honored with a hat. People began to tell the story that night. In small homes and loud rooms, they repeated it with smiles. They did not list the moves or explain the rules. They said one short line. He made a hat trick. The words stuck because they carried the moment inside them. You could feel the field, the pause, the rise of sound. Language has legs. It walks where people walk. As sports changed, the phrase traveled. Ice hockey players took it in. When one skater scored 3 goals in a single game, hats flew again. Soft hats, hard hats, old hats, new hats. The ice filled with color and noise. Workers had to come out and clear the surface. but no one minded the delay. Everyone wanted to stay inside that feeling a little longer. The same thing happened on soccer fields. 3 goals by one player, and the crowd lost its shape. Songs broke apart. Strangers hugged. The word passed fast, carried by breath and joy. Hat trick. It was said with laughter, with pride, sometimes with disbelief. Over time, the phrase slipped into daily life. It became a way to notice effort. A baker who sold out 3 mornings in a row heard it from a customer. A teacher who guided 3 hard classes through final tests heard it in the hall. Parents used it at dinner tables. Friends used it in bars. The hat was no longer real, but the idea stayed solid. What matters is not the count alone. 3 is only a number. What matters is the line they form together. 1 success can be luck. 2 can be chance. 3 in a row asks for balance, focus, and nerve. That is why the phrase feels good in the mouth. It respects the work behind the moment. The old cricket field is quiet now. The men who stood there are long gone. But the sound of that moment still lives inside the words. When you say hat trick, you are touching that afternoon, that pause, that choice to honor skill with something simple and shared. Most lives do not come with crowds. Your wins may happen alone, unseen. You may stack small victories while no one is watching. But when you look back and see 3 hard things done right, one after another, that story is yours. Call it what you want, but remember this. Even a simple hat, lifted at the right time, can turn effort into history.
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。